This is National Native News. I'm Antonia Gonzalez. The Pine Ridge Indian Health Service Hospital in South Dakota has regained accreditation and can now bill Medicare for services. Jackie Hendry has more.
The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services ended its provider agreement with the Pine Ridge IHS facility in 2017, citing the facility's failure to meet care standards. Losing that agreement meant the facility couldn't reimburse treatments through those programs. By November of last year, a CMS survey team reported the hospital to be 100% compliant with standards. Last month, the Joint Commission awarded the hospital full accreditation after a virtual survey. James Drivinghawk is the Great Plains Area Director for Indian Health Services. He says the Pine Ridge team has demonstrated it can consistently meet standards.
We have expanded leadership oversight from the area office to the hospital and improved staffing levels, and we have increased requirements for medical staff credentialing, education of our staff for quality standards, and implemented new checks and balances to ensure new issues that arise are addressed promptly.
He says the agreement with CMS will help the facility maintain and expand its services.
Going forward now, that all of our visits that we have with our patients are able to be reimbursed, fully reimbursed now. And so the hospitals will receive that additional revenue, and then we take that revenue and invest it back into the facility, into services.
Drivinghawk says one of those investments is a planned renovation of the Pine Ridge IHS Emergency Department. I'm Jackie Hendry in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Native people, their allies, and city officials took part in a celebration in Santa Fe, New Mexico Thursday after a statue of Spanish Governor Don Diego de Vargas was taken down. They also called for the removal of a war monument bearing a racist inscription. The celebration followed demonstrations earlier this week in Albuquerque and Rio Arriba County, where statues of Spanish colonizer Juan de Oñate were removed. Autumn Rose Billy, a co-founder of Three Sisters Collective, spoke to the crowd about the atrocities Oñate committed against Acoma people in the late 1500s.
Hundreds of Acoma people passed away during that massacre, and the men who survived were enslaved and had their right foot amputated. And that's why you saw the statue in the late 1990s of Don Juan Oñate with his right foot cut off, because we still remember.
Native people say the removal of statues of colonizers in New Mexico is a long time coming, including tribal leaders who've worked with politicians on removing the stone pillar honoring military actions. George Rivera is former governor of Poake Pueblo and has been involved in talks about its removal.
In that monument carved in marble, we're referred to as savages. And savage has a lot of meaning, both legally and culturally. Has a lot of meaning, and it was not appropriate for it to be used in describing our people. I think our people are the Pueblo people, Apache people, Navajo people create the image of the Southwest, and everybody knows that, the tribes are still alive and vibrant in this area.
The mayor of Santa Fe, Alan Weber, spoke at Thursday's event, calling the removal of statues part of healing and justice. He did not mention if or when the monument would be taken down or a statue of soldier Kit Carson. The Gila River Indian community has closed its casinos for 2 weeks due to recent spikes of COVID-19 in Arizona. The tribe halted gaming operations in March due to COVID-19 and reopened in May after the state lifted stay-at-home orders. The second closure comes after a casino employee reportedly died recently due to complications of COVID-19. I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
National Native News is produced by Kawanak Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
It's the circle of life that teaches us to take care of each other, to use our voice when we are in need. Like the circle of life, there is an opportunity that comes around every 10 years, a chance to participate and let others know who we are and where we are. The 2020 census will be our opportunity to shape our future for generations to come. Shape our future. Start here. Learn more at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.